Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. I'm here. I'm recording this after watching those two games today. Holy shit, they were boring. I'm going to get into that. I'm also going to touch on my Raider reaction, what I think about the Raiders right now, how we didn't need to win that fucking game. It is what it is. I'm happy for a win, but kind of dinged our chances. So let me start with that. So the Raiders Sunday played the Jaguars in a meaningless fucking game, which again I watched it, didn't watch it. I was kind of out of sync, out of touch, didn't care. So then I rewatched the whole game for the bits of it because my TV was glitching out. But I am happy for a win. However, my thing is why the hell took so long to get a win. One. Second off, why did we need to win? We didn't need to win on Sunday. We need to save for number 2 overall pick and do that. And it came at a bad time. I was listening to a Ryan Wilson on CBS Sports today. I saw a little reel. He's not wrong in this. I mean, we are the second overall pick right now. We have the pick of the litter between Cam Ward and Shador. And every other quarterback in this draft is trash. I talked to my cousins last night. Shout out to my Chicago family, Matt Schiffler, Janie, all those guys. It's great seeing you guys last night. Love my Chicago family. Always give a shout out. Phil Sexton, Yee Yee. Love you guys. And Mike Kesnick, got to give a shout out. So, we were all talking about that yesterday, and I just don't understand it. And I talked to a guy at the gym today. Got a workout in on Christmas, and we were talking for about 20 minutes. I don't get it. And now I got Telesco might not do it again. And the only reason we're going to get picks is by trading back, trading up to go get a quarterback. And I don't know if that's Tom Telesco's style. He's never done it when he was with the Chargers. So very confusing to me and very puzzling. I will say I was happy with the effort. They played tough. They played at home without Max Crosby. Good for them. But I just don't understand. What are we doing? Like, we can't even tank right. This is so bad as an organization. And this might be the worst win in the history of the Raiders, that I've ever seen. And it just makes me sad because I was going into this weekend going, let's just tank the rest of the year. And I know they'll keep trying and they'll make an effort because this isn't the NBA where guys load manage and all that bullshit. But it felt like to me, can we just get some momentum? Like, let's just lose out, see what we can do. But then I stopped back and I had another thought going, you know what? We drafted number 1 a couple times in our history, and it's not worked out. Jamarcus Russell, Tom Marinovich at quarterback. I get it. And now I'm reading mocks that Shador could fall to 6. I don't know. I really want Cam Ward, but my guess is Shador goes number 1 to the Giants, and then maybe Cam Ward slipped to us. I'm not sure. If we can get Travis Hunter, trade up, I don't know. We'll got to see and find out. Now, could they win again Sunday? Probably, because they play the Saints in New Orleans at 1 o'clock Eastern, okay? So we'll see what happens. I really want a revenge in New Orleans to beat the Saints because they beat us 2 years ago in a shutoutville. I think it was 24-0 with Alvin Kamara going absolute apeshit with Andy Beige, water pistol Dalton at the controls. So I want a rematch. I want an ass beating. But it's just too little too late. Like, why are we now just starting to play great when we should have been doing this a while ago? So we'll see what happens. Fuck around, find out. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm disappointed. And I'm happy we won. Great to know. But man, we really blew it. We had a chance to get the number 1 overall pick, sit in that driver's seat for number 2 pick, and we can't do that now. We're 6th pick, unfortunately, and that's kind of shitty. So I want to touch on the 2 games today. I did not watch the beginning of this Chiefs-Steeler game. I was at the gym finishing up. So I got home, and then I was kind of watching it. And I was kind of watching movies, kind of Christmassy kind of feels. I was feeling that vibe a little bit. And a couple thoughts hit me today when I'm watching that game. Kansas City looks like the back-to-back champions. They just look great. You know, they can turn it on when it needs to. They're kind of bored. They're pretty boring. They're like New England Light, I feel like. I'm starting to see it, man. But the more clever, creative version with Andy Reid. And then I'm watching Pittsburgh. But I want to get to Kansas City first. This is why they're the best team in football. This is why they're one of the elites of my lifetime in terms of a dynasty, a mini one. And this is why Andy Reid, as long as you have Mahomes, Reid, and that crew, you're winning games. Now, can I argue that the refs sometimes, that's disputable. I get it. But I also could say at the same time, these teams fuck up when they play them. You just can't screw up against Kansas City. You got to take advantage of your opportunities. You got to score when you get chances. Can't have bad negative plays. Don't have DBOs. Don't beat yourselves. DBYs, okay? Don't beat ourselves, okay? Or DBO, excuse me. So I just feel like when I'm watching the Chiefs, and now they're getting more explosive on the offensive side of the ball because I feel like all year they've just been kind of scrapping and clawing and all this stuff. They got Hopkins, they got Worthy, they got Watson. Chase Mathis knows what I'm talking about. Preston Wolf, a couple people that I know talk about it. So I feel like there's some momentum going into this. And by the way, their defense, they're fine. They were without Chris Jones today, and they look just fine. Now, is having him make a huge difference? No question. He's got an Aaron Donald vibe to him in a feel like dominant, disruptive player that he is. But you got to figure out how long he's out for, because if he's out for a consistent long time, Kansas City's still going to win, but I don't feel that same oomph on defense than I do when they have him in there. So, to me, we'll see what happens with Kansas City. They got the number 1 seed. Everything goes through Arrowhead. Again, you had all these teams in the AFC this year fighting and clawing, trying to get that number 1 seed and unseat Kansas City. You had your shot, and you pissed it away. So, congrats to the Chiefs. They won again in just a convincing, dominating win over Pittsburgh. And good for the Chiefs. They got the number 1 seed locked up. And now we just got to see who plays who goes where in the next 2 weeks. We shall see. A lot of moving parts around that. So I want to touch on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, how much longer do I have to hear? Mike Tomlin, he's not a good coach. I told my dad today, that's the least you have to do is make the playoffs. You've been doing it for a long fucking time, Mike. It's time to move on, Pittsburgh. I've seen enough. And this defense that was so, unstoppable the last couple weeks. I know they have guys banged up and hurt. I get it. But what the fuck am I watching? It's typical Tomlin teams. Stupid football, undisciplined, dumbass, guys wide the fuck open, 13-0 at home? That's inexcusable, man. On Christmas, when it really matters, you got to have this game. You've lost 2 in a row on the road, and you can't come through at home? You had your opportunities. Sacks, fumbles, DBOs, and you did. And I don't know what else I have to think of the fucking Steelers. It's time to move on. I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. We've only had 3 coaches in 3 years. I'm tired of hearing it. It's time to move on. Do something fucking different, damn it. Because I don't care how many winning seasons this motherfucker has. You have got to get it done in January. That's when this shit counts. And oh, by the way, I just got to throw this out. Because everybody keeps telling me Packers Steelers are the same franchise, which I don't disagree with. They are. They're just in different conferences. I get it. Smaller market. I got it. But Green Bay is more successful than you, Pittsburgh. They've won playoff games recently. Oh, by the way, they've been to an NFC Championship game recently. Have you? No. Last time I checked, it was 2016 when I was in college. So I'm done with Mike Tomlin. After today, Russell Wilson, listen, you've resigned your career. I'm happy for you. Good for you. Mike Tomlin, kudos to you. You did do that unpopular thing, moving from Justin Fields to Russell Wilson. I get it. But at some point, this organization needs to make a fundamental change and go with the times and go offense. You can still be physical. You can still be tough. But you got to change with the times, brother. Come on, man. Ravens have always been a defensive-led culture. I've been saying this for years. Ravens and Bears are so similar to each other. Legendary defensive players. Urlacher, Ray Lewis, all that stuff. Quarterbacks you weren't really sure about, but they've had great, Ravens are more successful than the Bears, but you know what I mean. Defensive culture, defensive-centric, cities, tough, blue-collar. I get all that, and Pittsburgh still can be that. But it comes a point in time, you got to adapt with the times and get more creative offensively. And I mean, draft a quarterback. Excuse me, but I'm thinking tonight, they never will because they just are always so, in that 9-win range, it's going to be hard to draft one. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on with Pittsburgh. But what a disappointment. Because a couple weeks ago, I went into it going, they're 10-3. Win a couple of these games, you might get home field. Not happening now. Not happening now. You've lost 3 in a row. You've been blown out 3 times. That's not Steeler football. And where's the standard at? I just got to know. And I'm disappointed. Now, I'm no Steeler fan by no means, but man, there's a standard in Pittsburgh, damn it. It's just like the Packers, and it's just like the Cowboys. And that standard is crumbling whenever I watch them now. I can't take them seriously. I love TJ Watt. I like Minka Fitzpatrick a lot. But, man, this team is just so disappointing. And it starts with falls at the head coach, who's, kind of attitude, and he's always getting these knuckleheads. And listen, Tomlin's a leader of men. I get all that. No disputing that. I got it. But I think it's time to move on. He's had it for 20 years. You got a ring. Unlike Green Bay, they had Mike McCarthy, who, like Mike Tomlin, has won a Super Bowl, done a lot of good things, but it's time to move on. Mike, Steelers, you need to do that now. Stop hanging on. It's annoying. Ugh, I'm done talking about Pittsburgh. So, the other game I just saw was the boringest game I saw all year long, outside of Monday night, was probably Ravens-Texans. Texans scored 2 points? Are you fucking kidding me? 2? 2? What are we doing? I mean, listen, Ravens are a tough out to play against. No question about it. But I'll start with the Ravens. I get Baltimore is like a freight train. When they get cooking and they get rolling, watch out. Mosh pit, They get rocking and they get rolling. It's over. Girl, it's over right now. Ooh, girl, it's over, okay? Hit him with it, okay? Hit him with that Stone Cold Stunner, okay? It's over with. But my point is with the Ravens, they are looking dominant form right now. They did against Pittsburgh. They got a balanced attack. Lamar Jackson's playing his best football of his life. I saw a stat. He's got 120 passer rating in those years. They've always all won MVP. Now, can he translate the postseason? We don't know, because we already know what he can do regular season. He's a great regular season quarterback. Got to do it in the post. But it's hard. Peyton Manning took a while to win a playoff game. You got to get there. So, I do think Lamar, this is the year he's got to do it, though. He's got to win a playoff game. I think both these guys, Lamar and Josh Allen, got to win playoff games. But I am sold on the Ravens. Their defense has been a lot better lately. Putting Kyle Hamilton back there at center field at the safety position. Made a great play today on that pick by C.J. Stroud, who just doesn't look great. And I'll get to him in a second. So I feel like a lot of things with Baltimore are going right. They will have to go on the road in playoff game, but I think with Baltimore, they don't give a rat's ass where it's played at. If it's indoors, outdoors, cold, it doesn't fucking matter. This team's hardened, toughen up, because the head coach, who doesn't need the fucking spotlight, who, is not adored by the media, Mike Tomlin. But my point is, I'm sold on Baltimore. They're a playoff team, and I feel like they can play any team in that in the AFC. Could they play Kansas City again and beat them? Probably. Because I got a chance they could do it. So I'm impressed with Baltimore. Congrats to them. Another winning season. Another year where they just keep being consistent, being a top team, which I want the Raiders to become, but it's getting harder and harder for me to buy into that. We shall see. And I want to lastly flip over to the Texans. This has been a disappointing season. I know they've kind of underachieved, but I don't know if they're most fraudulent division champ. I know Rex Ryan said that. But to me, they've just been ravaged by injuries. And I just feel like C.J. Stroud's taken the sophomore slump. He's hit a wall. Their offensive line's awful. I mean, C.J.'s just not seeing shit. I mean, I've seen him play the Packers, the Vikings. Really decent, really solid defenses. And he just looks awful. So I don't know what's going on. I can't figure it out. Because to me, I don't know if he's not seeing it, if he's not reading the pressure. They're bringing it everywhere. And I also don't think he trusts his offensive line. Do I blame him? No. He's on his back the whole time. So, and Bobby Slowick's got this Kyle Shanahan feel where it's like, dude, what are you doing? Stop calling passes. Go run. Joe Mixon's getting 4 yards a pop in the backfield. So I don't understand what they're doing offensively. I keep hearing that this Slowick guy's good. Okay, 1 year, and we're hailing this guy. The media does this all the time, and I get it. I'm a victim of it too. So I just don't know what's going on right now. We shall see what happens. But Houston, listen, you'll probably get to the playoffs, get one and done, maybe get on a playoff game because you won the division. Who knows? But I don't know, man. This Houston team just feels one and done written all over it. Ravens, go to the playoffs and win. And I also want to give a shout out to my Chicago family, Mike Kesnick, Matt Schittler, all you guys. I love you. It was great seeing you yesterday. I'm thankful for all my people that I have friends with and family, all my supporters, all my people that follow me on this podcast, YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. Stay tuned. I got more picks coming out this week. Actually went 2-0, by the way, on some of my picks, but I'll give those out tomorrow. And just hit the like, subscribe, share button. Merry Christmas to all. Happy upcoming New Year. And stay tuned throughout the week. I got a lot more information coming, a lot more content coming. Stay tuned. Have a great Christmas. Good night.